Welcome to episode number 69 of the Blitz Take. I am here with Penn State football reporter Jarrod Prugar, recapping Penn State's excellent win against West Virginia, uh, 34 to 12. And I'm excited to hear what his thoughts are on the great outcome.
Thanks for having me as always. But it was a great game for Penn State. I think people that like Penn State and are around the program should be happy with the outcome. Obviously, winning against any opponent is good, but they handled West Virginia pretty handily. And the Penn State offense looked really good as well. And when you have that type of confidence and swagger from Drew Aller, things should look really good for Penn State moving forward.
What were your thoughts on Harrison Morris, the third, securing his first career 100 plus yard game?
He looked great. I mean, and I think the other thing too that what people aren't going to look at really is how the other receivers blocked downfield as far as like Julian Fleming getting involved in that really sprung him for a couple of his big receptions. But they were able to get him open and get him in open space, and he made the most of it. He was a really good receiver last year, and it's nice to see him finally get over that century mark. And you hope that he continues to stay healthy the rest of the season.
What do you think about Tyler Rowan and Amari Evans having a big day?
Tyler Warren is, I think, their steady Eddie. He was their most consistent receiver last year. So him getting involved in the action, even though it was pretty minimal. I mean, they only threw the ball 18 times. But anytime you only need to throw the ball 18 times, it's usually a pretty good outcome for a team. And for Penn State, it was. It's the same thing with Omari Evans. Omari Evans was pretty good as well last year, but you didn't see that a lot. You didn't see how good he could be. But according to James Franklin, he had a really good camp and really good summer. So I mean, it obviously looks like that's paying off, and they have some pretty decent receiver threats. That's not something that people really could say last year for the Nittany Lions.
What do you think about Katron Allen and the way he played?
Katron Allen was kind of it's tough to explain because he didn't really step up on the stat sheet a lot, but he was used as primarily as a decoy in certain situations. Obviously, he got fed the ball well early, but again, having him on the field with Nick Singleton is going to be something that opposing defenses are going to have nightmares over because there are just so many different ways that they can beat you. But anytime you're on the field, like Allen is, he's a threat to score it anytime he touches the ball. So for him to do what he was able to do and maybe not, appear on the stat sheet in the score column, but just affect and impact the game the way that he is, it's a good situation for him.
What do you think about the game upcoming against Bowling Green, and how do you think the offense will respond after a outstanding performance this past Saturday?
As far as Bowling Green, obviously Penn State is the more talented team. That I don't think that's really up for debate. So for them, I think the game plan is just simple. Keep it to your basic defense, your basic offense, and just go out and execute. Focus on executing your plays, executing your big time plays. Obviously, I don't think that they're going to be using all the right plays that they're going to be using maybe later in the season against USC or Ohio State or teams like that. But if they just go out there and execute their base offense, get the young guys in early, and get into a position where maybe in the third quarter and later you can get some of those sophomores or rookies or freshmen in, then I think that's a really good situation for them. But you can't take Bowling Green lightly. Obviously, Penn State's known for being able to take every game as a 1-0 mentality or whatever. But for the offense, I mean, they just have to just keep doing what they're doing. Obviously, Bowling Green is probably not the same level that West Virginia is as far as talent and what they're capable of. So, I mean, it's just taking advantage of your mismatches and again, just going out and executing. But the biggest thing they need to do against Bowling Green is just get out of there fully healthy. If they're able to do that and then also win and win big and get some style points for the playoff and for rankings, then I think they're in a really good situation moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Penn State has the chance to be lower than eighth in the country?
It would take them probably a loss for them to fall backwards. depending on what the rest of the schedule looks like. But I mean, you're looking at a situation where they could really see themselves climb up the rankings. I know that's probably not going to be the case, unless other teams ahead of them fall. But I think it's really one of those situations. If USC continues to play the way they have and climbs up the ranking, that could be a really big road win against a ranked team later in the season. Obviously, at home against Ohio State, Washington, those big games. If they're able to win those, there's no reason why they couldn't be in the top 5 or even the top 4 of the country come the end of the season. But it's going to take something drastic, I think, for them to fall back. They've just got to keep doing what they're doing. If they're able to keep winning and get into the Big Ten play undefeated, I think good things are really going to happen for the Nittany Lions.
Sounds good. And I'm hoping that everything will fall into place for the Penn State Nittany Lions, the upcoming games, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Absolutely, as you should be. I think it's going to be an exciting year, and I think this is a really good opportunity to see an offense that hasn't quite scraped the surface of what they're capable of, and they were still able to put up a lot of points.
Thanks again for coming on, and I'll definitely have you back on to talk Penn State football.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to it.
Thank you.